Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Washington Gun Law TV. I'm your host, Washington Gun Law President and Attorney William Kirk. Thanks for joining us. Hey, today, listen, we need to talk about concealed pistol license reciprocity. That's right. We need to talk about today if you have a concealed pistol license in Washington state, are there other states that you can carry as if you were in Washington state? And if so, what are they and what are the rules? And we also need to talk about if you have a concealed carry license from another state, will you be allowed to carry while you're here visiting Washington state? Listen, CPL reciprocity is really important right now because as a country, we do a lot of traveling, both professionally and personally for leisure. And one of the great things about the United States, one of the unique things that makes our country so special is the fact that we have 50 individual states, of which each of them has their own set of firearm laws. And so as we move from state to state to state, the firearm laws, the protections afforded to the citizens in that state vary depending on what state you are in. And so essentially, by merely crossing a state border, a person could be going from completely lawful activity to felonious activity just by crossing that state border. So it's really important as being part of the lawful and responsible gun owner that we preach here at Washington Gun Law, that you keep yourself apprised of the laws in every situation that you may find yourself in and how they apply to you in each and every instance. So let's talk about CPL reciprocity in Washington state. Now, the applicable statute for concealed pistol license reciprocity is RCW 9.41.073. And that law is very clear that Washington state is not going to honor or accept an out-of-state concealed carry license unless that state has all the exact same requirements as what Washington state has in granting its citizens a concealed carry license. And Washington state, as many of you are aware, leans towards the more restrictive side of things when granting concealed carry licenses, or what we call them concealed pistol licenses here in Washington. But in order for an out-of-state concealed carry license to be recognized here in Washington state, that other state must, one, recognize a Washington state CPL. Number two, they cannot be issuing CPLs to people under the age of 21. And that happens to be a big sticking point between Washington state and many states, because most states actually will give concealed carry license to those 18 years of age and older. Washington is one of the few states that limits that to age 21 and over. And finally, that other state must require a mandatory fingerprint and background check information before they are granting that concealed carry license. And unless that other state meets all three of those criteria, they will not, their CPL will not be honored here in Washington state. And so because of that, there really is very few states that Washington state will honor an out-of-state concealed carry license from. And matter of fact, there are only 9 states in which Washington will honor an out-of-state concealed carry license. And they are as follows: Idaho, Kansas, Louisiana, Michigan, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, and Utah. And Utah, the last state, of course, is a real interesting one, because if we take a look at the Attorney General's website, and I'll put the link down below there for you here, but the Attorney General website on CPL, concealed carry reciprocity, says that the Attorney General's office periodically reviews the laws of other states to determine whether those laws meet requirements for Washington to reciprocally recognize a concealed pistol license or permit issued by those states. The Attorney General is required by law to publish a list of states which Washington has reciprocity with. Now, if we start doing an annual review on every state, we will recognize that Utah just recently passed what's called constitutional carry. Constitutional carry essentially is that an individual has a constitutional right to conceal carry a firearm however they wish, so long as they are otherwise lawfully allowed to possess a firearm. And so the whole background check system that the state of Utah was using and all the requirements that the state of Utah was using in order to grant its citizens concealed carry license are probably going by the wayside. And for that reason, there's a high likelihood that when Attorney General Ferguson reviews the new state of the law in Utah, Utah will lose its reciprocity status here with Washington, leaving us only with 8 states in which out-of-state concealed carry licenses would be honored inside our borders. Let's talk about the states that you can carry in if you currently possess a valid Washington State concealed pistol license. If you previously were licensed prior to the pandemic, or you were lucky enough to have your license application approved during the pandemic, not only can you conceal carry according to the laws in the state of Washington, but you can also conceal carry now in the following states: Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, Idaho, Indiana, Iowa, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Missouri, Montana, North Carolina, North Dakota, Ohio, Oklahoma, South Dakota, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Vermont, Virginia, and Wisconsin. Now, it is important that although you can conceal carry in those states with your valid Washington CPL, you can conceal carry in accordance with that state's laws. And so therefore, part of being the responsible and lawful gun owner, like we preach here at Washington Gun Law, is to know how the law applies to you in each and every situation that you may find yourself in. So therefore, I highly recommend that if you're going to be traveling out of the state to a state where you know you can conceal carry and it is your desire to do so, that you contact local counsel to learn the intricacies of that particular state's law and some of the limitations that they may have on where you can or cannot actually carry that firearm. As you're aware, in the state of Washington, even with a valid concealed carry license, you cannot carry onto school grounds unless you're picking the kids up or dropping them off. You cannot carry into courthouse facilities. You cannot carry into correctional facilities, mental health institutions, or any place designated for age 21 and over, including bars, restaurants, taverns, and of course, Washington State's cannabis stores. And every state is going to have a unique set of restrictions and limitations based upon where you can or cannot carry. And again, as part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner here, like we preach at Washington Gun Law, it is your duty to know what those laws are and to act in accordance with them. Like we say all the time here, part of being the lawful and responsible gun owner is knowing how the laws apply to you in each and every situation that you may find yourself in. If you have any other questions about your concealed carry rights or anything related to Washington Gun Law, don't hesitate to contact us. Until next time, stay safe. Thank you.